Hi, everybody. Let's begin the joint meeting for Rules and Open Government Committee for the whole. We have a quorum with Councilmember Arenas, Davis, Vice Mayor Jones, and myself. We are going to begin with a review of the final agenda for the November 5th meeting. And I'll note that we have additional adds for consent, 4 items for the maker of the motion. And given the amount of discussion I expect that we're going to have and the amount of community input, I would recommend that we figure out a way to begin the afternoon session sometime in the morning. And I don't know if you have any insight about the duration of the closed session.
The only 2 items that we're aware of for closed session is the evaluation of the appointee, the city attorney, and then an update on a case that Councilmember Davis wanted with regard to the retiree lawsuit.
Okay.
Those are the only 2 we have so far.
Okay. Right. So we could probably say a 11 o'clock start and probably get away with it, I think.
So would you want to start the closed session at 9? Try it at 9 or 9:30?
Oh, yeah, we could do that. No, Davis.
I'll just give the input that I've already given. You know, I think sometimes when we try to start the closed session at 9, we do a lot of waiting for a quorum.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I'll just say also, I'll speak from my own perspective for Rick. When you're doing your evaluation, I think it's important to have more than just a quorum. You want a critical mass.
Yeah.
So I would recommend we start at 9:30 to make sure that happens.
Good point. So let's start at 9:30, and then perhaps we can begin.
And so at this point, the only thing you would like on the closed session would be the evaluation. That's the only thing other than
we can certainly have the second item, and if we get late in time, we'll just defer that for a week.
It's an update and ready to answer any questions you might have.
Sure.
Okay.
So we'll go forward at 9:30, and then 11 o'clock, if that's agreeable to the committee. Okay, and then on pages 4 and 5, are there any changes? Pages 6 and 7. Pages 8 and 9.
Mr. Mayor, this is Lee Wilcox, City Manager's Office. The administration would like to request a 10-day waiver for 4.1.
Yep, okay. And I understand we still don't have an agreement, and we haven't heard from Caltrans in a couple weeks. Is that right, Lee?
That is correct. We're hopefully going to have an agreement back from them marked up Monday morning, and we have a call with, Friday morning. We have a call with them Monday morning, but it is our intent to issue a memo on Friday.
Okay. Then I would just ask, the council direction was that staff would come back with a resolution that we would sign off on, expressing our views about the pace and challenges, really, of Caltrans in this negotiation. I would just ask that be included consistent with council direction. Is that possible to do? That was the direction,
Yeah,
at least.
I think we can check in with the team on that, but I think we can meet that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not looking for much. Even a brief statement of whatever specific challenges we've had, I think would be sufficient. Because it would be then the subject for future conversation for us with the Secretary of Transportation and the Governor. Okay, on to pages 10 and 11. Pages 12 and 13. And pages 14 and 15. Page 16. Okay, so we have one member of the community like to speak, Huáscar Castro. No? Okay, you're going to pass on this one, Huáscar? Got it. All right, what's the pleasure of the committee?
Motion to approve the agenda for Tuesday, September 5th with start time at 11 a.m. for the regular session, a sunshine waiver for item 4.1, and you said there was an ad sheet?
Yeah, ad sheet 4 items.
And including a sunshine waiver for an ad sheet with 4 items.
Okay, motion second. Any comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. On to Wednesday, November 6th. We have a special meeting agenda, which is, of course, the items relating to Coyote Valley. Is there any comment or question? I'm not sure if I've jumped ahead on the agenda here. I guess that was actually, I did jump ahead. That's all right down at BA. But since I called it, why don't we just discuss it? Are there any concerns about that agenda? I don't have any cards. Do we have cards?
Motion to approve?
Okay. There are hand gestures being made to Councilmember Davis. Is there a problem with the mic?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Great. Councilor Davis, do you have anything more? No. Okay. Very
She
well.
just wants to move on. This is-
Very well. We're moving on. That's what we're doing. Was there a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're now returning in the agenda, but still staying in chronological order, importantly enough, on the draft agenda for November 12th. I've got a start time at 9 a.m. on this. I think that's what it says in writing. And this is for the sexual assault response and strategy report. So this is not a study session. This is an actual council meeting?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Okay. Trying to understand that.
So Mayor, yes, it's Jennifer McGuire. The council approved it to be a special meeting in case they wanted to take action and accept a report or any other action that they deemed appropriate for that meeting. And the concept is it would be from like 9 till noon.
Right. Okay. And we literally have nothing. Oh, because this is Veterans Day week, is that right? Okay, I got it.
Yes.
I'm just catching up with the facts. Thank you. Any comments or questions? Councilmember Renz.
Thank you, Mayor. I just really want to thank the city manager's office, Dave and Jennifer for her support in getting us to this point. And at this point, we're going to hear from the San Jose Police Department in terms of their progress. And so I'm very much pleased about the process, and hopefully you'll share in this feeling with me on that date to learn a little bit more about how we can support some system improvements within our own police department in order to better support sexual assault victims.
Thank you, Councilmember Renz, for your work in pushing it forward. Okay, there is a motion, right?
Second?
All right, there's now. Let's vote. Oh, all in favor? I'm sorry, I'm sitting here. I just think we have the electronic system on. I think we all voted aye, right? Okay, that passes. We're now on to item D, which is DA is the city budget calendar and budget study session schedule. We have a schedule to approve.
Motion to approve?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The general plan hearing for December of 2019, that is DB.
Motion to approve?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. The public record.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're rolling now. We're on to item G, the consent calendar.
Motion to approve?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we still have no cards from the public, so
I
we'll,
think it's a different venue is the reason why we're kind of out of sync.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that. We don't have the rhythm.
Kind
This happened to the Beatles when they took a break too.
of.
Okay, so number 2 is HR 763, Energy Innovation and Carbon Dividend Act of 2019. Councilmember Davis, did you want to speak on this?
How did you guess, Mayor?
You just guessed.
Yes. I want to thank staff for bringing it forward, and I'm going to move approval, but I just do want to give the caveat that I think the reason that they have the EPA suspension in there for 10 years is because they did want it to be a bipartisan bill, something that could be supported. So I would actually like us to support it even without that amendment. But I understand why we want that backstop, but I don't want the perfect to be the enemy of the good as well. So I would like to move approval without that, the caveat of the Clean Air Act suspension.
Could I just check in with Carrie or Benna about specifically that distinction? I know there's a bit of a partisan divide about the EPA's jurisdiction here, and it was settled, I think, by the Supreme Court in 2008, and it was a hard-fought battle, so I just want to be very careful about where we're treading here.
Thank you. Yeah, we want to look at the whole of the enforcement and authority component. So while understanding that maybe there could be some softening over the power plant authority component, that category of industry is also a little bit vague. And so so maybe there's some flexibility in terms of where we might be able to compromise to reach agreement to get to the betterment of the intent, as you mentioned. And so we can sort of explore that from a legislative standpoint.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, great. Then I will amend my motion thus.
Okay. So I think I understood. And I understand that there's a lot I don't understand yet about this. So the amendment or the motion has been amended by the maker to expect some advocacy for some amendment.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. And the second I get that? Yeah. All right, we're all good.
Can you restate that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. On to item 3, municipal solid waste clean incineration to generate energy. Yeah, so, Carrie, did you want to speak on this item? No.
I think it was Councilmember Camus's.
It was.
It went up in flames.
You see, I'm sorry, Shane Patrick?
Yeah.
I think that mic's not on. Give it a shot.
Shane Patrick, of staff for Councilmember Johnny Camus. Thank you very much to Environmental Services for providing this preliminary analysis from the council member. I didn't have any questions at this time, but we appreciate that as a starting point for our further explorations. Thank you.
Dave, did you want to jump
Yeah,
in here?
I think we're just closing the loop here on some request that was made earlier. So I think we're closing the loop on that request and folding this work into the work plan.
Okay. And specifically, it'll come back next year as part of our larger zero waste strategy somehow.
It will be contemplated during
It'll be
the
discussed.
development of that.
Yeah, evaluated as part of that. Okay. Great. Councilmember Arenas, is that button for this?
It was, but you
Okay.
just answered it, because I was wondering if it's deprioritized, where is it going to go, and where is it going to live? So it sounds like it's going to be considered in this zero waste work plan next year, and it may fall off.
So thank you. So rather than pursue it as a standalone item, as we revise our zero waste plan, we're incorporating the greenhouse gas component and looking at it more broadly. So as part of our evaluation, waste to energy incineration will be considered.
So it'll be considered, so this may fall off the work plan. So if say, toxic emissions being produced by this incineration facility are to, I don't know, meet some kind of threshold that is negative to the health of our community nearby, then I guess I'm trying to figure out what is the criteria to, what are you going to base that decision on, whether it falls off or is included?
So as we evaluate the best way to hit our zero waste plan and blend that in with our climate smart objectives, which include community health and prosperity, if it doesn't make sense to include it, then we'll sort of move on with things that do make sense. So if it doesn't, we don't think at this time it makes sense to pursue, it won't be part of our zero waste plan, but we will have done that analysis as part of a broader issue.
Okay, great. So that analysis will be reflected in a report somewhere once your zero waste work plan is produced.
It sounds like I should do that, so yes.
Oh. I'm thinking that you're
Yeah.
doing that analysis anyways, right? So
We don't always note everything we consider.
Sure.
But it sounds like this one is of particular interest to Councilmember Camus and others, so we'll at least note where it landed.
okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Any other questions? Was there a motion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. And finally, open forum. Do any members of the community like to speak? All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.